So we were talking about single instances, which it is going to give up the uh, resource request graph. So in resource request graph, we have taken up with both the resources when we have taken up with both processes. Processes are represented using bubble shape or a oval shape, and resources, they are going to be represented in rectangle shape. And then we taken up the property of hold and wait. So that hold and wait is going to be mentioned in form of wait for graph. So that is what we talked about. And then we have taken up the example where a deadlock is going to occur. So that is, we have done it up. And next one was a recovery from deadlock. So what will be the approaches so that there will be a recovery happen? There will be a recovery happen for the deadlocks. So the one simple solution was the operator who is going to look in a system. It need not, if it is an office, we can say it is an operator, but if we are working on our same mobile phone and same laptop, so we ourselves, we are assumed as the system operators. So as mentioned, I was telling you have to hit on Control Alt Del, then you have to select it, and then you have to delete the where the process is going to occur. So that one we are going to say terminate it from one after the other where the deadlock is going to happen. So all those we are going to do it manually. So now coming back to the content what we were discussing now. So how we are going to see that there won't be the order in which we can eliminate the deadlocks was you have to give up the priorities to the process. So thereby we can which process we can needs more, so that high priority jobs we are going to put it, and low priority jobs we are going to delete it one after the other. Similarly, how long the process has computed and still how much time it need, based upon that whether we can take it up or whether you can end it up. So in this way we are going to assume. So the resources it is going to use and still how many resources it needs. So how many process have to be terminated, whether it is an interactive or whether it is a batch processing. That is, if it is a batch, it can be one after the other. If it is a multitasking or a multi programming environment, then it is going to be some interactive. So based upon that, we are going to assume whether to eliminate a process, whether to terminate a process or not. So obviously, if there is no cycles, if there are no cycles in a deadlock, we can say, yeah, deadlock won't happen. But if there is a cycle in a deadlock, so those cycles has to be broken up so that deadlock will be eliminated. So the root cause is going to be analyzed where a cycle has been created. So that cycle is identified, and then we are going to eliminate it. Okay, how we are going to make a recovery for a deadlock? So how we are going to work with the recovery of a deadlock was, one, we are going to say select the victim. Victim here is nothing but a process here. Victim is nothing but a process here. So, and how much usage it has taken up. So how many resource consumption, the resource consumption we are going to call here as the cost factor here. So whether it has been optimally utilized the resources, whether it has not optimally utilized, so that it is going to taken up, we call it as select victim. Second one, we are aware of one, we call it as commit and make it as a permanent, and we want to go for a rollback operation. One, we are going to move, we can say redo operation. So we can make a redo operation, or we can make some undo operation here. So we can make a undo operation. So those, so that the system it is going to be somewhat in safe state and restart the process. And third thing we are going to call here as a starvation process. So starvation was that there are two processes competing for a resource, and one process is always in the queue. It is, and another process is always using the critical section. It is not coming out, and another process is waiting indefinitely when this process come out. So we call that one as a starvation. So that starvation process we are going to pick it up, and then we are going to make a rollback operation. So this is all the three steps what a deadlock can be eliminated. So this is how the deadlock is going to be derived. So the same things I have given you in form of nodes and in form of content here. So after these two are going to be over, after these two are going to be over, now we will iterate the banker's algorithm, which is a part of your operating system lab. So how a banker's algorithm is going to be iterated, etc., that it is going to be taken up. So so before we are going to look into the banker's algorithm, so here is one, I can say it is using some online GCD compiler. So in this online GCD compiler, I have taken up this process. So this is the part of a banker's algorithm. We are going to use this banker's algorithm as your operating system lab. So give me 1 second. So fine. Now yeah. We are going to start up this banker's algorithm. So we are going to define a structure variable, struct. We are going to define a structure variable. So in this structure variable, we define it with the struct here. So in struct, we are going to define the maximum need as a vector, A1 as a vector, and need vector before and after. So before and after, they are going to make it as available, another they will be used for allocation, etc. And then we are going to assign total number of resources here available, and then we are going to have for count of process and count of resources. One, it is going to count the processes. So Cn, it is going to count processes, and whereas Cz, it is going to count the number of resources. Okay. So one, we are going to use the variable Cn for total number of process, Cz for total number of resources. Then we are going to say total number of processes, it is going to input it, total number of resources, which is going to happen. Then we are going to compute out this what is the maximum value of a resource, what is the allocation value of a resource, how many number of processes are there. So I'm going to say P1 is a process, P2 process, P3, P4, P5. So if such is the case, yes, you have to give process as 5 here. Then what is the maximum value of a resource? So maximum value 7, 3, 2, if it is like this, then I can say I have 3 resources, A needs 7, B needs 3, and C needs 2. I need to give this value. So can this one you should understand, P of I dot maximum of J. So what is this implication? So I'm going to define it as a structure. Remember here, I'm going to create a structure. So structure, I'm going to define it as P. Structure, I'm going to define it as P. P is going to indicate the process. So maximum A1 need before after, these are called as structure members. Okay. So either maximum A1 need before and after, they are going to be called it as structure members. So total number of process, I can define it as P of 10. So now I'm going to say P of I dot max. So P of I is the name of a structure, and then the structure member, it is called as maximum. So that is how you have to interpret the things. Okay. So we have defined a structure prototype, then we are going to use the structure members, etc. So So we have taken up this structure prototype and structure variables, etc. Now we will scroll down here. So maximum we have taken, allocation we are going to take it up. After that, we have to calculate the need vector. After calculating the need vector, then we have to use the availability is equals to availability minus request, allocation is equals to allocation plus request, and then we have to make need is equals to some need minus content. So for that we have to work it out. So now what is the maximum value of a resource we will be entering here. Then what is the allocation it is going to happen. So allocation we are going to taken up. Now this is what you should understand the step. Okay, PI is a structure representing the process, and a need I am going to say need is equals to some maximum minus what is the formula of need. Need is equals to some, I will just move to the PPT here. So need is equals to some, need is equals to maximum minus allocation. Okay, so that is what we have taken it earlier. So when we are going to say P dot need here and maximum minus A, and A1 we are going to call it as allocation here, and maximum number of resources what it is going to take. This is called as a need vector. Got it? So first part of the safety algorithm we are going to iterate. You understand this, right? I will just move to the desktop here, and I will just move to the desktop here, and then I can show you the PPT here. So you can analyze the value, right? So need is equals to some need of ij is equals to maximum minus allocation. Need of ij, you can see the banker's data structure here. So need of ij is equals to some maximum minus allocation. This is called as a need vector. So now we are going to use this need vector. We are going to use this need vector, and we are going to compute it with our program. That is need is equals to some need is equals to maximum minus allocation. That is what we are going to get it out. Next one, what is the total number of value of resources it is going to consume. So when it is going to be total number of resources, we are going to input one after the other. Total number of resources, whether A is some 10 instances, B is some 5 instances, C is some 10 instances. I am going to input the total number of available resources with me. After that, we are going to push to the next value. We are going to move to the pushing to the next value. That is temp is equals to some temp plus process with A1. A1 is going to start for some allocation, right? So here temp, it is going to use a word called as a request. So request, we are going to assume it with some temp here, and available, and we are going to say available is equals to some total minus temp here. So earlier what was the formula? Available is equals to some available minus request. Okay, this is the formula what we are proposing in the PPT, right? Available is equals to some available minus request. How it is going to move this? So available, AV stands for available, total minus temp. Here we are going to move it. So temp, we are going to assume it as request. Temp, the value of temp we are going to show here as a request here. So in this way we are going to derive a safe sequence. So while using this safe sequence, we are going to iterate the process, that is P max 1 I am going to call it as A1, and then we are going to produce the need vector. So we are going to compute the maximum, that is maximum, then we are going to make the available vector, and thereby we are going to work with the need vector. So these are the three simultaneous operations what we are going to work it out of. So finally we have to make a check operation, right? Finally we have to make a check operation. So I will go through again the PPT and show you where these steps are going to be similar here. So now, okay, we computed the need vector. After computing the need vector, so what was the next scenario? What we have to understand? The next scenario was if finish is is equal to false, and if we can say need is less than work, now I have to say work is equals to some work plus allocation. Now we have to assume that work is equals to some work plus allocation. So this is what we have to now take back from the C code, where this C code is supporting the safety algorithm third step, that is work is equals to some work plus allocation, and where this algorithm is going to bring up finish is equals to false. So already there are 5 processes, we have already given those inputs, so 5 times the step will be iterated. So now we can assume that there are the number of processes, and available is going to be moved into work. So now work is equals to some work plus allocation is the demo what we are going to expect it from the program. So now let us move back to the program here. So while moving back to this program, yeah, so when need is greater than available, so you can see here, so when need is greater than available, it is going to be one of a condition what we are going to see. So next one, it is going to compute it with a vector content, that is I am taking 2 variables. So before is equals to some available minus need. So available minus need, and then I'm going to compute here the after vector. So after vector, it is going to say before is equals to some before plus maximum. So these are the two these are the 3 steps which are provoking this PPT content, that is availability is equals to availability. I can show you here. So work is equals to some work plus allocation, and we are going to have availability is equals to availability minus request, allocation is equals to allocation plus request, and need is equals to some need minus request. You need to demonstrate these steps, right? Availability is equals to availability minus request, allocation is equals to some allocation plus request, need is equals to need minus request. You need to demonstrate. So to demonstrate, what we are going to use was, we are going to use these values here. So that is one we are showing with before, one we are going to show with before option, another we are going to show with after option, and we are going to assign the maximum need. So we are going to compute before value, we are going to compute the after value. So that is how we are going to move these steps towards the banker's algorithm. So after this, we are going to compute the final steps of the process, that is whether a safe sequence is going to be raised or not, whether a deadlock is going to be raised or not. So if the situation was in control, then we can say a safe sequence is derived and a deadlock is going to occur. Deadlock will not occur. If it is not in a safe sequence, then we can say that a deadlock chances is going to occur. So now what we can do is, so what we can do is, we will execute this code. We will execute this code so that you will have an idea what we are talking about. So before that, I will just write on a piece of paper this program. So give me 1 second time, so that I will just have, because I have to give these inputs, right? So the P0, P1, P2, P3 and P4 process. So it will be P1, P2, P3, P4 and P5, because I'm not starting from P0. Then I will be having 3 instances, ABC, ABC and ABC. One I have to give it for allocation, another I have to give it for maximum, another I have to give it from available. Okay. Then I have to compute the need vector. The total number of A is 10, total number of B instances is 5, total number of C instances is 7. So 0, 1, 0, it is 2, 0, 0, 3, 0, 2, and then 2, 1, 1, 0, 0, 2. And maximum will be some 7, 5, 3, 322, 902, 222 and 433. Then the availability will be 332. So this is what we are going to expect, right? So now I'm going to compile the program. I'm going to compile the program. So it is in C program operation. So enter the total number of processes. Total number of processes was 5. Okay. Next one, enter the total number of resources. There are 3 resources, right? A, B, and C. So what is the maximum value of resource R1? So I will just show you the PPT here. So now you can see the PPT. So what is the maximum value of P? That is 753, 332, 902, 222 and 433. That I have to give as an input. That I have to give it as an input. Okay. So so what I'm going to do is, what is the maximum value of process 1? What is the maximum value of resource 1? So that is, I'm going to get it as 7 here. Then for the second resource, I will be giving it as 5, and third resource I will be giving it as 3. So second, what is the allotment for this process? What is the allotment for this process? It is going to ask. So the allotment for this process will be some. So the allotment will be some 0, 0, 0. So allotment you can assume 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 0, 3, 0, 2, 2, 1, 1 and 2, 0, 0. So that is what I have to give. Maximum instances A is 5, B is maximum instances A is 10, B is 5, C is 7. I have to demonstrate. So and then what I have to do, I have to compute this as a need vector, right? I should get 743, 122, 600, etc. And I should be getting the safe sequence. Okay, this is the outcome of the algorithm what we are going to propose. So now let us look into this program. So something went wrong. So what I can do is, any suggestions? So this is something struck. How to come back? Control Z. I'm not aware of online compiler, how to get it back. Control Z, or shall I restart it? Restart the code. Something went wrong. So leave the program. Then then I have to work with online GCD, right? So online GCB. So I'm working on online GCB compiler and selecting the language, C, and moving out the left menu, left navigation button. Now, yeah. So executing the program. So this time I'm not changing. I can assume it as 5. Then total number of resources, I'm assuming it as 3. Then for process, what is the maximum need? I have to give it as 7, 5, and 3. Then what is the allocation for process P1? That is 0, 1, and 0. After that, I have to give for process P2 what is the maximum need. Process P2 was 3, 2, 2. So 3, 2, and 2 here. So then what is the consumption, what is the allocation value it is taken up? It is 2, 0, and one more 0 here. So what is for the third? That is maximum was 9, 0, and 2 here. After that, what is the allocation of a resource for the process P3? That it is going to be 302. So 3, 0, and 2 instances here. After that, I should work for process P4. That is 2 here, 2 here, and 2. Then resource was 2, 1, and 1. Then I should give the final process. Final process was 4. Oops, the connection lost, and refresh the content here. So something it is working, not working out. So now I'm going to put this REPL code to you in my chat box. So you can so I'm going to put this in the chat box. So you can use the same REPL code here. Okay, so that is the REPL code what I'm going to put it. So use this code, copy the program, and then you can so anyhow, I'm going to put the same program in the chat box for you so that you can compile it along with me and tell me the output. So in the chat box, all of you can see the chat box where I have put the complete code. I have put the complete code so that you can take the banker's algorithm code, execute the banker's algorithm code also. So you can execute the banker's algorithm code. I have given it in the dropped it into the chat box. So, or you can take the complete URL which I have given this in the repl.it. So here I can say repl.it banker some banker algorithm one, that it is going to be there. So in the repl.it also you can execute it so that the total lines of code is given here. So you can work parallelly along with me. So in the interest of time, so I'm executing the process. I'm executing the process here. So total number of processes was 5. Total number of resources was 3, and it is 7, 5, and 3. Thereby, I'm going to get the first resource. First resource was 0, 1, and 0. Second one was 3, 2, and 2. Then I should be getting 2, 0, and 0. And for process P3, it is 9, 0, and 2 here. And thereby the allocation was 3, 0, and 2 here. Then the fourth one was maximum was 2, 2, and 2. And then the resources was 2, 1, and 1. And finally, I'm going to input the value as 4, 3, and 3 here. Then the allocation was 0, 0, 2. Yeah. Enter the total value of the resource 1. Total value was 10 resources. Enter the total value of resources B is 5 resources. Enter the total value of C, that is 7 resources. So this is what with the operating system. Okay. So all of you, now you can just look into my screen here. So in my screen, I have taken up, I have given the inputs of all the processes. So P1, P2, P3, P4, and then I have computed here the resources, that is 753322902222433. So I'll just show you the PPT here. Now you can understand. Next one was some allocation value 010, 200, 200, 302, 211, and then 002. We have given that values, right? And now you can see this need vector was 33 total available. The total available was 332, right? So I have not given this. The system itself has computed, right? 332 should be the availability vector. So that is what we are going to get here. 332 is the availability vector. So then it is going to derive the save sequence. It is going to derive the save sequence. So how it is going to derive the save sequence, that one we are going to understand. So I can just show you with the open board. So seven, so the allocation vectors, so we are going to get the word called as allocation, right? So this is what the allocation vector, what we are going to show. Next one, we are going to call it as the, sorry, this is what we are, give me a second. So 332, we are going to call here as an available. So 332, we are going to call here as available. And next one, we are going to say what is the, this is A is 10 instances, B is 5 instances, and C is 7 instances we have given. So that is what we are going to call here as a total value. Then we are going to derive it as 74312260010. We got this. So how did I get 600? How did I get 600? Earlier it was 902, then it is taken up 302. So I'm going to make a subtraction operation. So when doing a subtraction operation, I'm going to get it as 600. That is how I got this 600. So how to get this 600? We have already taken up a formula, right? So need is equals to some allocated minus maximum minus allocation. So this is maximum and this is allocation. Then we are going to get the need vector. So need vector is equals to some maximum minus allocation. We got this need maximum minus allocation. So that is how we got this need vector. So 743 etc. is going to be called it as need vector. Then what is the maximum need? So we are going to get this maximum need. So 010, it is going to be some allocation value. So 010, 200, 302, 211, these are called as allocation vectors. And this one we are going to call the maximum resources. So now what is P2, P4, P1, P? This is nothing but the safe sequence. P2, P4, P1, P1, P3 and P5. What is this order? This order is going to be a safe sequence, and this sequence tells that there is no deadlock. And safe sequence, it is going to put it as a safe state. It is going to give a safe state, and it says that there is no deadlock occur. Instead of working on P1, P2, P3, P4, P5 in FCFS, you go with P2, P4, P1, P3 and P5, then you can say there won't be any deadlock. So I'm going to get these values as available before and available after. What are these two values? 211, 522, 153. How I'm going to get these values? So I'm going to get this as an intermediate computations. So these intermediate computations we are going to put this here with this algorithm part. What is that algorithm part we are going to get? So allocation is equals to allocation minus request. Available is equal to available minus request. Allocation is equals to some allocation plus request. Need is equals to some need minus request. So after these three steps are going to be iterated, now we are going to get these values. So the values are going to be like this. One, it is 210, 521, 000, 153, 654, and this is how the Banker's algorithm is going to generate the request. So in our last 2-3 classes, we have taken up the Banker's algorithm. We were telling that it is going to be some safety algorithm, resource request graph. After that, in today's class, we have executed the Banker's algorithm. First two, we have theoretically talked about the algorithmic part, and then we iterated. After that, now in today's class, we have taken up the lab exercise, where we are going to solve this problem as a Banker's algorithm, and we have iterated each and every step, and we computed this need vector, and finally we derived the safe sequence. Okay, that is all for today. So now what I'm expecting you, if anyone, can you copy paste the code and give some inputs and show me, so that will be more satisfaction for us whether you have understood or not. Okay, so
Sir.
Yeah. Are you able? Are you able to got that link or not? Are you able to use that REPL link or not? The things in the chat box.
Yes, sir. I used the code